welcome to the final episode of Marvel Cinematic University. As I no longer want to do a podcast with Jake, I'm your host and Professor Alix, and with me, as always, is the most annoying student I've ever met in my entire life, Jacob.
Look, I heard the pause there, thinking I think you were expecting me to cut you off, but that was not in the cards today.
I wasn't expecting it. I was contemplating our friendship and the next hour of my life having to do this with the likes of you.
Look, you called yourself stupid, and I just agreed with you.
Anyway, this is Marvel Cinematic University, where each and every week, even past this week, this isn't the real last episode in case you really bought that, I teach Jacob something he didn't know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and probably still doesn't know because he's kind of an idiot. Today we're talking Jessica Jones.
You're really doubling down on this.
Well, today we're talking about I was going to say short-lived, but it wasn't really short-lived. It was on for like 4 years. Show on Netflix, Jessica Jones.
I'll say, I like this show much better than Daredevil.
I will say it's my favorite, and it's the only one I was ever able to get Kelly to watch, so.
Yeah, it was pretty solid, I think. You know, with Daredevil, I was more like, they really could have condensed this down into about 6 to 8 episodes. Whereas this one, you kind of need the build up of each episode. I thought they might have drawn it out a little bit, but, it all worked out.
Yeah, I think it's after this show where the episodes the seasons start to get a little shorter, about 8 episodes a season instead of 13. And it really helps none of these shows out because it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Also, do you like how I have the purple room for the Purple Man?
I do. Yes. I actually have a colored light now that I was gifted. And I'm trying to figure out how to set it up in my room here, considering, I don't have a lamp, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But once I do.
What are you using as a light right now?
Well, you see, that's like one of those LED home fixture lights. Turns out very invasive. Yeah, there's no bulbs in it. It's just like an LED strip stuck to the thing.
Oh, you can get a color light for that. They have those.
Yeah, I can't even get like the bulb or the glass bowl. I can't even like get that off without like taking the whole thing down from the ceiling.
Okay, here's what you do. You take color laminate and you put it over the light.
That seems invasive, considering I also work here.
I don't know what to tell you.
We tried our hardest. Maybe I'll put like a color laminate on my light here.
That won't work at all.
That'll work perfectly.
It'll actually ruin the lighting.
Maybe I'll put it over my phone.
So I was going to give you a warning that one of the fun facts may be the same fun fact like 12 times.
No, that's pretty much on par with I Am Groot.
No. I only had one fun fact for I Am Groot.
You just said it every time.
No, we waited till the end. I just edited that episode. Don't gaslight me.
Oh, you wanted the work.
Took me about an hour to edit that entire podcast. It was great. I was like, well, I have a whole weekend ahead of me now. Let's do more of those. I like that one.
Short and sweet.
Jessica Jones. Released November 20th, 2015. Just a quick 6 months after Daredevil on Netflix. It stars... Oh, I just clicked off my notes here. It stars Kristen Ritter, Rachel Taylor, Eka Darville, Carrie-Anne Moss, David Tennant, and Mike Coulter.
Good casting, I thought. Everyone kind of really, meshed well. They meshed well as a cast is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, you tried, you kind of failed, but you tried.
Yeah. I think the casting for Jessica Jones was pretty spot on.
And David Tennant is one of the best actors in the world. Fight me. He also plays Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales.
That's why you like him so much.
No, he also plays Doctor Who.
No.
This show takes place approximately 2 to 3 years after the Avengers, a few months after Daredevil, and before Age of Ultron.
Yeah, we kind of see that in I think it's the second to last and last episode, we see that little Daredevil connection. But we'll get to that.
Please don't tell me my connections. I tell you my connections.
It's a connection I noticed.
This season consists of... You said 12, but I thought I wrote 13. Hold on. 13 episodes. Turns out I was right. You were wrong.
Oh, that'll happen.
Episode 1. Or actually, I don't know. I'm going to say the entire number. The episodes are AKA Ladies' Night, AKA Crush Syndrome, AKA It's Called Whiskey, AKA 99 Friends.
I think we can just say they all start with AKA.
AKA The Sandwich Saves Me, AKA You're a Winner, AKA Top Shelf Perverts, AKA WWJD, AKA Sin Bin, AKA 1000 Cuts, AKA I've Got the Blues, AKA Take a Bloody Number, and AKA Smile. Jacob, you know what to do. It's time for you to tell me all about Jessica Jones.
Hello, Jessica.
Jessica!
That's not how this works there, Four Eyes. This is about, you read off some summaries and I nod happily.
I can't read on account of my 4 eyes.
Well, get 6.
Episode 1. I read that completely wrong. I thought this said Jessica Jones, an alcoholic pervert. But it actually says Jessica Jones, an alcoholic private. Okay, episode 1, aka Ladies' Night. Jessica Jones, an alcoholic private investigator, gifted with superhuman strength. I looked at you. All right. Jessica Jones, an alcoholic private investigator gifted with superhuman strength, delivers us a subpoena to strip club owner Gregory Spears for lawyer Jerry Hogarth, who is having an affair with her assistant Pam behind the back of her wife, Dr. Wendy Ross Hogarth, exposing her abilities to him in the process. While not working, Jones spies on Luke Cage, a bar owner who sees her looking into his bar and offers her free alcohol, as one does, basically as a ladies' night promotion, leading the two to sleeping together.
That'll happen.
Listen, you mix the words ladies' night, some alcohol, and a man named Luke Cage and a woman named Jessica Jones, you're going to get some sleeping together.
You know, I think Jessica Jones was probably the first lady to enter that bar in about 27 years. So, yeah, I mean, constitutes a ladies' night.
You know what? That's not wrong.
No.
Jessica leaves upset after seeing a photo of a woman in his bathroom. So it turns out you're wrong. There was a woman. There was a woman in there. He took a picture of her in the bathroom. She's dead, probably.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a physical woman in the bathroom. It's a photo of a woman in the bathroom.
It's good enough for me. Jones is approached by Barbara and Bob Schlottman after their daughter. We've only got an hour here. After their daughter Hope began acting differently and disappeared, Jones discovers that Hope is with Kilgrave, a man with mind control abilities, who once controlled Jessica Jones, leaving her with PTSD, and who she believed was dead.
I don't know if you can dangle the fingers over PTSD.
You're right, it might scare them. Why are we so unhinged today? What is this?
The Kilgraves are whispering.
Jones wants to flee, but is convinced by her friend and foster sister, Trish Walker, to help Hope. Jones finds Hope, but Kilgrave's hold is still over her, and she murders her parents.
Yeah, that does happen. The old... Ooh.
Ooh, murder!
He gave him the old two to the chest and one to the head.
All right, let's see. So that was a ladies' night, and here are some fun facts for the ladies' night.
Well, let me say this real quick.
Yeah, you say that.
Kilgrave is a genuinely bad guy.
Oh, like, he's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, you can't make a case that he's got some good ideas or anything. He's just a bad guy. And like in Daredevil, they were, the villain in Daredevil, whatever his name was.
Kingpin?
Kingpin, yeah. He was just trying to clean up the city. This guy is...
He was he was also taking Russians off the street, so...
Yeah, car door guy. He was left on the street.
In memoriam, car door guy.
In memoriam, not confirmed dead.
In the arms Son of an angel.
Fly away.
Yes, no, Kilgrave is terrible. Terrible, no good, very bad Kilgrave.
We don't like Kilgrave.
We do not stand Kilgrave.
Anyway, continue.
Fun facts.
Yes.
Jessica throwing a man through the alias sign in the beginning of the episode is shot for shot from the first panel of the comic Alias, issue number 1, the first appearance of Jessica Jones. Bet you didn't know this was based off a comic book.
I did not actually. Is this the first Marvel thing we've done that's based off a comic book?
Yeah.
I knew it. Look at me knowing stuff. I feel like my head is...
Your head is crooked, but that's not the camera, it's just your head.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe if I, like... There we go. Just hold it like this. Crooked head fixed.
You understand that made the problem worse, correct?
Oh, no! Maybe my eyes are crooked, too.
Fun fact number 2. Luke Cage is bald, wearing blue jeans and a yellow t-shirt, much like his modern comic book counterpart's design.
Another comic book reference.
Oh. It's almost like we might learn more about Luke Cage in a show called Luke Cage.
It's actually highly theorized that he's not in that show.
Oh, no, that show's all about Jessica Jones, actually. I don't think I had any connections for this. There's not a whole lot of connections in this show. I will I'll go ahead and point that out right here. So let's just move on to episode 2, aka Crush... That's a hard thing to say. Aka Crush Syndrome.
Crush. That is stuff, yeah. Say that 5 times fast in a dark alley.
Jones is investigated by Detective Oscar Clemens, who discovers photos she took of Cage. Jones lies to Cage that she had been hired by the husband of a woman who Cage had slept with. Cage, that dog, having not known that the woman was married, confronts the woman about it. And when she goes to her husband, he attacks Cage with a group. Jones helps fight off the men and learns that Cage is gifted with unbreakable skin. Hogarth agrees to represent Hope if Jones can prove that Kilgrave exists. Jones remembers leaving Kilgrave to die after he was hit by a bus, as one does, and now tracks down the ambulance driver who had picked him up. The driver had donated both his kidneys to Kilgrave and is now on dialysis. It's almost like Kilgrave was like, yo, give me those 2 kidneys. And he's like, here you go, sir.
Give me the old snip on the kidneys.
Which knees you want, boss? The kidneys? You got it. Jones finds the operating doctor who
Anonymously?
Shut the fuck up. Jones finds the operating doctor who anonymously donated the dialysis machine. There is a lot of hard words in this paragraph. He agrees to testify for Hope and reveals that he operated on Kilgrave without anesthesia, since that would have blocked Kilgrave's ability.
Was she a nurse? He didn't have his trusty nurse with him when he operated on Kilgrave?
Anesthesia. What I said.
You said anesthesia?
When Hogarth meets with Hope, the latter reveals that Jones was once under Kilgrave's control as well.
And Anastasia.
Alright, that was episode 2. Let's do some fun facts on that one. That was real fun to tell the story of, and let me tell some of these fun facts real clearly in English, like.
Oh, I'm excited.
In the opening interrogation scene, Jessica Jones says she was headed to Pennsylvania, where actress Kristen Ritter is originally from.
Did you say Christian Ritter?
Yeah.
That was Kristen Ritter.
When Jessica is being interrogated by Detective Clemens, he asked her why was she going to Pennsylvania, and she replies, "Great antiques." He then replies, "I love antiques. You too?" In The Wire, 2002, Clark Peters, who plays Detective Clemens' character, loves antique dollhouse furniture. He even opens up a store once he retires.
Spoiler.
I mean, are you gonna go watch In The Wire? Or The Wire? Not In The Wire. I read the words here. I gotta go home. I gotta get out of here.
Gotta get out of here.
The bar brawl was the first time that Kristen Ritter...
Are you going to title this episode Alex has a speech impediment on screen?
It's called Alex's Mouth No Work No More. No, Jesus Christ. Oh. The bar brawl was... What the fuck was that? The bar brawl was the first time that Kristen Ritter had ever filmed a fight scene. She accidentally hit a stuntman in the face with a phone receiver.
I heard that happens quite often when making fight scenes in movies. These stuntmen get punched in the face a lot.
Yeah, but not by accident with a phone receiver. By an actress who's never fought a day in her life. Episode 3, aka It's Called Whiskey.
My favorite episode.
Jones and Cage bond over their mutual powers, while Jones also tracks down a surgical-grade anesthesiac. Oh my god. While Jones also tracks down a surgical-grade anesthetic to subdue Kilgrave with. Hogarth, next time you're reading
you
these...
You could have kept it at anesthesiac and I would have just let it roll. But you chose to go back and correct yourself and it made it so much worse.
Hogarth, now divorcing Wendy, who discovers the affair, and unwilling to risk herself and her reputation despite Karada's testimony, organizes for Walker to interview Hope about Kilgrave live on her radio show. Walker asks that anyone who believes that they have been approached or controlled by Kilgrave contact Hogarth and then publicly insults Kilgrave on air. Like, that's a very smart thing to do. He's in no way going to come after you for doing that kind of thing.
Kilgrave, he would be fine with that. He's a good guy, remember?
It's kind of silly because the next sentence here says something like, that was the previous sentence. The next sentence says, angered, Kilgrave sends police sergeant Will Simpson to kill Walker, with Jones having to use the anesthetic on Walker to convince Simpson that he has carried out his orders. Jones follows Simpson back to Kilgrave, who orders Simpson to walk off a balcony. Jones again convinces Simpson that he has carried out this order by knocking him out and taking him to the street below, telling him as he wakes that she caught him. Searching through the house that Kilgrave was occupying, Jones discovers a room full of photographs of her. That's not creepy in any way whatsoever.
No, not at all. Maybe Kilgrave, some would say, has an obsession.
Maybe he's just a little interested in the way she looks.
It's possible.
It's highly theorized.
Highly theorized.
All right. Struggled through that one. Here are your fun facts. After Jessica and Luke have sex, he says, "Sweet Christmas." That is Luke Cage's catchphrase in the comic books.
Sweet Christmas.
Sweet Christmas. AKA It's Called Whiskey is the only episode of the first season of Jessica Jones where the 8 members of the main cast all appear.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Hey, and you want to know something funny about this episode? I've got connections.
Oh, wow. We have a connection.
The radio in the store mentions Daredevil and other heroes. Luke Cage references the Hulk in Avengers when talking about superpowered people. Trish also references the events of the Avengers 2012 during her interview with Hope, when she mentioned that the city was attacked by aliens. Episode... Was this 5? No, 4. Episode 4. AK 99 friends, but a bitch ain't one.
I got 99 friends, but a bitch ain't one.
I got 99 friends and Jake's my bitch. Jones accepts a case from jewelry designer Audrey Eastman, who seeks evidence of her husband cheating. Jones tracks Eastman's husband to a rendezvous with his girlfriend, only to discover a trap set by Eastman, who blames gifted people for the death of her mother during the incident, also known as aliens, and who learned of Jones's powers from Spheris. Angered as she recalls the death of her own parents, Jones convinces the Eastmans to leave her alone with a show of her power and a bluff over the number of other gifted in the city.
Here's the thing, right? These people are probably in their, early to mid 50s, possibly late 50s here. And they think they're just going to go around and round up all these superheroes.
No, what they want to do is they want to speak to the superheroes' managers.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Let me speak to your Mr. Stark manager.
No.
Where was I here? Hogarth and Jones process a large number of people claiming to have been controlled by Kilgrave, forming a support group for those legitimately affected by him. Simpson attempts to apologize to a frightened Walker over his actions while under Kilgrave's control. They eventually bond over the experience. Jones uses surveillance footage provided by Simpson and clues offered by the Kilgrave support group to learn that the photographer spying on her for Kilgrave is her drug-addicted neighbor, Malcolm Ducasse.
I was going to say, they definitely bond over their experience.
A trauma bond?
Yeah, you're talking about Simpson and, what's her name, right?
Yeah, Simpson and Walker.
Yeah, they definitely do a little,
horizontal bonding.
Yeah, some horizontal bonding.
Right. Fun fact! When at gunpoint, Jessica bluffs about being bulletproof, referencing a nearly identical incident in the comics. And I do also have a connection for this episode.
It's highly theoretic. He got that idea for being bulletproof from Luke Cage.
No, she got that idea of being bulletproof from the song Bulletproof. When Jessica is threatened by her client Audrey Eastman for killing her brother, she mentions the green guy and the flag waver. This is a reference to the Hulk and Captain America and the death and destruction caused to New York in the Avengers.
Hulk probably dropped a building on that lady's mother.
Yeah, he might have dropped an alien on the mother. You know how it is.
Is she the second confirmed death in the Marvel Universe?
No, it happened off screen. If it happens off screen, it doesn't count.
Okay, so it doesn't. Yeah, it's insequential.
Wow, you can't speak. That's so stupid. Why can't you say words?
It's my first messed up word, and I'm not sure what the actual word is. It doesn't count.
Inconsequential?
Insequential?
What the fuck did you just say?
Just stroked out.
Episode we are rolling in it today. Episode 5, aka The Sandwich Saved Me.
I mean, before you read this here, I'm just like, here's what I thought was going to happen, right? Like, I thought someone would be at gunpoint, and Jessica Jones was going to take, like, a pastrami sandwich and just knock someone out with it.
Why does it have to be a pastrami sandwich? Why can't it be a peanut butter jelly sandwich? Or a ham and turkey sandwich? Or a nice little, I was going to say Reuben, but I think that's what you said.
I said a pastrami, but
Reuben.
It could be a Reuben.
Yeah.
A meatball grinder, perhaps, as well, but I don't know if that's... I guess
messy.
that's a nice sandwich.
Yeah, it'd be pretty messy and hot and saucy.
Yeah, which might be better, because you get a little face burn there if you get hit in the side of the face with a meatball grinder.
Yeah. Jones recalls her brief time as a superhero as she debates whether to save Dukakis or to use him as a means of locating Kilgrave. Walker and Simpson begin... Huh?
I'm just going to say the name Dukakis is the funniest name ever.
I'm actually pretty sure it's Ducassi. I was gonna try to word my way through that. I've been watching another show where there's a guy named Dukakis, and that's why I said that.
Understandable. I think we refer to him as Dukakis from now on.
You got it, boss. Walker and Simpson begin a romantic relationship doing the horizontal bonding, with Jones grudgingly allowing him to assist in a plot to capture Kilgrave. Simpson supplies Special Operations skills and contacts, including access to a hermetically sealed room in which Kilgrave could be kept once the effects of the anesthetic wear off. They follow Dukakis to his daily meeting with Kilgrave, where photographs of Jones are exchanged for drugs, which Kilgrave had forced Dukakis to become addicted to so he would obey Kilgrave even after his powers wore off. After around 12 hours of no contact, Simpson shoots Kilgrave with anesthetic. Jones refuses to let him kill Kilgrave so he can be used to prove Schlottman innocent. Jones gets Kilgrave to Walker, and the getaway car... getaway car... didn't get far, but they are attacked by hired bodyguards who escape with the unconscious Kilgrave. Jones then resolves to help Dukakis overcome his addiction.
That was a little sus that they couldn't fend off those bodyguards, to be honest with you.
Hard to fend off bodyguards.
Luke Cage was not there.
Correct.
That's what... Okay, yeah. Never mind. Not as sus.
What are you saying, that Jessica Jones can't take those bodyguards?
Well, she tried.
She tried her best.
Tried her hardest. She can only be in one place. And let's be honest here. Simpson is... he doesn't have his meds yet.
The Simpson is off his meds. Do. All right. Fun facts. The costume and nickname, Jewel, suggested by Trish, are Jessica Jones's original comic book superhero identity.
That's a fun fact.
When Jessica, Trish, and Will are preparing to capture Kilgrave, Will can be seen sitting on a park bench reading a newspaper with a headline mentioning Costa Verde. Costa Verde is a fictional Central American republic from the Marvel comic universe with a turbulent history. And I do have some connections. I have connections.
Ooh,
I have
put these
connections.
in their
I have
connector
connections.
spot.
In one scene, a kid dressed as Captain America could be seen walking through a park.
I bet he falls into a river.
But he can swim because he's a Captain America kid.
Right. Look, I'm almost shocked here that
That kid in the Captain America suit was Spider-Man, by the way.
It's highly theorized.
Highly theorized, that's Peter Parker.
Look, I think I'm kind of shocked that they didn't just have a kid walk into the old CDC facility with a hermetically sealed room, and that's how Kilgrave escaped.
It could have happened. It's a kid in a movie.
Happened. Yeah. The one thing about Kilgrave, okay, is he does tell kids to shut up and go lock themselves in a closet.
Okay, so you want to say right here on the stream right now that there is one good quality about Kilgrave?
No, I think that
right here
in trouble.
On a recorded line, you want to go ahead and say that you're a big fan of Kilgrave?
Yeah, I don't think he's a good guy. I'm not a fan of him in any sort of the way. I don't think he has any good ideas at all.
But you're perfectly fine with him bullying children.
I think that's okay.
Okay, just want to make sure we got our point across.
Yeah, now that you put it as bullying children, yeah, that's fine.
Episode 6, aka you're a winner, but not you, the royal you.
Me,
not
a winner,
you. A loser.
Oh.
Kilgrave uses his powers to win a poker game and spends his winnings to purchase Jones's childhood home, as one does. After playing a fellow inmate to beat her, Schlottman confesses to Jones that she is pregnant with Kilgrave's child and has been trying to miscarry, as one does.
As one does.
I gotta say, the people in the show make some wild decisions. Cage hires Jones to help find the brother of someone who has evidence of the death of Cage's wife, Reva Connors. Connors had left Cage instructions to find a box that she had hidden, but it was not there when he looked. Jones recalls Kilgrave having Connors lead them to the box, with Jones digging it up before killing Connors. Jones and Cage find the missing brother and are given the file of the bus driver that accidentally hit Kilgrave and who Cage believes hit Connors. Seeing that the driver had been drunk, Cage seeks revenge. Jones intervenes and confesses that Kilgrave forced her to kill Connors. Cage leaves, unable to forgive her for hiding the truth and instigating an intimate relationship with him.
She did do the killing. Now, is Kilgrave purchasing Jessica's house the ultimate Riz move?
All right, so what you want to say on the podcast that is recorded, everybody watches, is that you think that Kilgrave has Riz.
Controlling Riz. That's hard to argue with.
All right,
it's not good. It's not good Riz. Look.
I'm glad you clarified it.
Riz is a spectrum. And there's bad Riz, there's medium Riz, and then there's good Riz. And this was bad Riz, but it's still Riz.
So the fun facts for this episode, this was called You're a Winner. When Luke tells Jessica he wants to hire her, she tries to refer him to Angela Del Toro. In the comic books, Angela Del Toro is the this is a funny word. Angela Del Toro is the heroine, White Tiger, and she was also created by Brian Michael Bendis, who also created Jessica Jones.
He's from the IGA or the ICE. There's a couple letters on a file in one of the later episodes.
Oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Fun fact number 2, aka You're a Winner, is the only episode of Jessica Jones that Trish Walker does not appear in.
I wonder where she could be.
Probably getting rizzed out by Simpson.
Highly theorized.
Heavily theorized. AKA Episode 7, Top Shelf Perverts. A drunk Jones, having been asked by Hogarth to convince Wendy to sign divorce papers, accosts Wendy in a subway and almost kills her. Wendy refuses to sign the papers. Dukakis helps Jones back to her apartment, where they find her neighbor, Reuben, dead. Knowingly blaming Kilgrave, Jones devises a desperate plan. Get herself imprisoned in a supermax prison so when Kilgrave inevitably comes for her, his abilities will be caught on camera. What a good plan.
It's a great plan. She's not worried about any of it. Yeah, she just, jumps in the little river there and goes to old Ruben's head, carries it in a Stop and Shop bag and drops it on old Clement's desk.
So I don't have to read that line then. Her processing is interrupted when Kilgrave takes control of the station and declares his love for Jones, as she was the first person to resist him. He invites her home, and Simpson later watches as Jones voluntarily enters the house with Kilgrave.
This really sets Simpson off here. His character line really takes a turn.
It's the part where you just see him going, "Don't!" And then he walks into the house and he goes, donuts.
He is a cop.
This episode was pervert. Connection. Fun fact. At the police station, Kilgrave is wearing a purple suit and tie. This is a reference to his comic book alias, Purple Man.
He likes the purple.
Yeah, he does.
He's a big fan of the purple.
Stan Lee sighting. During the scene where Jessica puts herself in lockup, there is a photo of Stan Lee hanging in the building.
That's crazy. He's probably the warden of the prison.
He got his little cameo.
He always gets one in there.
He always gets his cameo. Excelsior. All right. Episode 8. AKA, What Would Jesus Do?
I'm gonna be honest here. When I saw that episode title, that's what I thought, and then about halfway through, I paused it, and I was like, "Oh, it's What Would Jessica Do?"
No, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Well, I had no idea. I thought it was What Would Jesus Do?
That's what everyone would think.
And I'm kind of curious to what Jesus would do, so let's find out.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Jones spends several days living with Kilgrave. Though he takes her phone so she cannot record him, she secretly gets Simpsons when she catches him sneaking into the house to plant a bomb. Not willing to let Kilgrave die until Schlottman is free, Jones tells Kilgrave about the bomb. Kilgrave, in an effort to prove that his nature was forced upon him, shows Jones a pen drive, which Connors had hidden in the box, containing footage of his parents experimenting on him as a child, and him eventually stopping them by his command. Jones shows Kilgrave that he can do good with his powers by convincing him to save several people. She visits Walker and asks whether she should stay with Kilgrave and try to use his abilities to change the world for good. When Jones, knowing that Kilgrave will harm some of his servants if she does not return, goes back to Kilgrave, she instead uses a distraction to incapacitate him and flies away with him. Then Simpson is seriously injured by his own bomb, which Kilgrave left for him. Shouldn't have made a bomb. I don't know what to tell you.
And then he goes to the hospital, asks for some sketchy doctor, and, gets a couple red pills, some blue pills, and some white pills.
That's the next episode. We're still on What Would Jesus Do? So let me tell you the fun facts for What Would Jesus Do? There seem to be no fun facts and definitely no connections. So let's go ahead and move on to the next episode that you were just talking about.
Yeah, it's almost like the perfect transition.
Transition.
Ooh.
Episode 9, aka Sinbin. Walker races Simpson to the
Sinbin.
my old boy Sinbin over there. Hey Sinbin, can you bring me the Sinbin roll? Thanks, Sinbin. Episode 9, aka Sinbin. Walker races Simpson to the hospital, where he insists on seeing a Dr. Kozlov from his days as an army surgeon. Kozlov gives him some pills and his injuries heal miraculously. Jones imprisons Kilgrave in the hermetically sealed room, where she plans to torture him until he reveals his abilities on camera. Hogarth warns her that this would forfeit their course in Kate. Sorry, you started talking and I fucked it up. What were you saying?
I'm just like absolutely shocked. This is not what I was gonna say. I said great plan, but I'm just shocked that you could just like rhythmically read through Kozlov with no interruptions. But then you get to like some simple one syllable words, and then they come out in a completely different order.
Listen, Kozlov is easy.
Vincent, though, you know.
You need to have that phlegm, which is what my mouth is always full of, making other words hard. Hogarth warns her that this would forfeit their case in court, and that the DA has offered a 20-year plea deal to Schlotzman if she pleads guilty. Jones convinces Schlotzman to not take the deal and devises a new plan. From the footage of Kilgrave's experiments, Jones discovers the names of his parents, Louise and Albert Thompson, and from photographs realizes that his mother is a member of the support group. Jones confronts her and Albert and convinces them to face their son. Jones also forces Clemens to act as a witness. In the cell, Kilgrave is remorseful, but Louise attempts to kill him to stop him from hurting anyone again, and he makes her kill herself. He makes her unalive herself. At least he didn't hit her with a car door. Jones saves Albert from a similar fate, but Kilgrave escapes.
I wouldn't say he was remorseful there.
I mean, the wiki said he was, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so he's just kind of playing into it a little bit here.
Yeah, well, he was remorseful. I don't know what to tell you.
He's acting remorseful, but he's not remorseful.
That's what I said. I said he was remorseful.
Acting remorseful.
Yeah, that's what I said. In the cell, Kilgrave acts remorseful. That's what I said. Right there, it's written.
Okay, I see. You said acts remorseful. I thought you said is remorseful.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't change it. There are no fun facts. And alas, no connections. So let's just move right along to episode 10, aka 1000 Cuts. Kilgrave forces Hogarth to take him to a doctor. She goes to Wendy, hoping Kilgrave will force her to sign their divorce papers, but Kilgrave instead orders Wendy to kill Hogarth with 1000 cuts as revenge. I wonder where this episode got its name from. Pam arrives and accidentally kills Wendy to stop her by hitting her in the head with a vase, as one does.
I mean, if someone's trying to slice and dice your mistress here, you hit them in the head with a vase.
You know what? I'd say that's fair. Thompson reveals that Kilgrave's abilities are a virus that he releases, and that a vaccine could be created from Jones's blood, as Jones appears to have become immune to Kilgrave's influence. Simpson, under the influence of Kozlov's drug that enhances combat performance and numb pain, arrives at the cell where Clemens is guarding the evidence needed to imprison Kilgrave. Set on killing Kilgrave instead, Simpson kills Clemens and destroys the evidence. He finds Walker with Thompson, and who is unsuccessful in creating the vaccine. But she sends Simpson away when she sees how unstable he is, managing to take some of his pills from him in the process. Kilgrave gets Schlottman released from prison and trades her for his father. Schlottman unalives herself, freeing Jones to Kilgrave. That was a pretty fucking dark episode.
Yeah, that was a rough one. Lot of stabby in the necky from old Schlottman.
This might be a good time to mention this fun fact, because I don't think I wrote it down anywhere. But in the comics, Will Simpson is known as the supervillain Nuke.
I was actually going to ask you if he had any kind of like superhero name.
Yeah. If you're curious, if you just want to know, and I think you do, that's what he looks like. The decent human being.
Yeah. You know, I think if he, well, no, he's kind of a douchebag without the pills too. So never mind. I withdraw the statement.
All right. Well, my other fun facts for this episode, of course. Kilgrave wears a purple suit in the restaurant where he is holding hostages. This is a reference to his codename in the comics, Purple Man.
Wow, I didn't hear that fun fact yet.
No, earlier you heard that he was wearing a purple suit somewhere else. The reference to
like this is coming again.
The reference to Hammond Labs refers to Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch from the early history of Marvel Comics.
The initial Human Torch.
Yeah.
The first Captain America.
I actually said the original Human Torch, but not Not Johnny Storm. Not Chris Evans. All right, episode something. Episode 11.
11?
I got the blues. Dudes.
Boo.
Jones remembers waking up after a car accident as the sole surviving member of her family and being adopted by the Walkers in a publicity stunt by Trish's abusive adoptive mother to help her bolster Trish's fame as the star of a child television program, Patsy. Yeah, in the comics, I'll get to that. The fun facts here. Jones discovered her ability soon after. Now Jones's cover-up, Schlottman's death, and Kilgrave's involvement in it, and begins searching morgues for Thompson's body as a lead. Affected by an increasing lack of sleep, Jones is injured in an accident, but does manage to find Clemens's body, and deduces that Simpson killed him rather than Kilgrave. She agrees to meet with Simpson, and he attacks her in her apartment. Overpowering the injured Jones, Walker arrives and uses Simpson's pills to help Jones defeat him. Not used to the pills, Walker requires medical attention. As she recovers in the hospital, Kozlov retrieves the unconscious Simpson from Jones's apartment, and Kilgrave warns Jones that he has found Cage. Jones finds Cage herself in time to see his bar explode with him inside.
Now, I thought, during that whole fight scene, I thought Simpson said you have to take the blue pill after the red pill.
Yeah, probably.
But, he had some blue pills, and she didn't take them, said.
He might have been referencing the Matrix.
Oh, blue pill, red pill.
Do you want to take the blue pill or the red pill?
Yeah.
I do want to point out that in the comics, Patricia Patsy Walker is a superhero known as... Fuck, what was the name? Known as Hellcat. Anyway, what else? Anything? What was the name of this episode?
It was Blue Balls, I think.
I think it was close to that. It was actually it was I Got the Blues. So got nothing for this one. So let's just quickly get on to AKA Take a Bloody Number.
Take a bloody number, Jessica.
You wanker. Cage survives the explosion and reveals to Jones that he was ordered by Kilgrave to destroy his bar. Walker learns that Kozlov works for IGH, a company that also paid for Jones's medical bills after her childhood car accident, and potentially played a part in her gaining abilities. After Cage recounts the events leading up to the explosion, in which he followed Jones to confront Kilgrave, they realize that Kilgrave is keeping Thompson alive to try and boost his abilities.
Do you know what IGH stands for?
Yeah, I give heroes.
No, it's inhuman growth hormone.
Right, this is when Marvel was trying to do stuff with the Inhumans.
Yes.
Right, and when they released we'll talk about this after, but you got a little lucky here, I think. You got a little lucky. Speaking of the Inhumans. We'll talk about it a little. I meant to start the show with how lucky you are. But we'll see. While they investigate, Cage forgives Jones for her role in Connor's death, and the two begin to grow close but do not fuck. They find a nightclub where Kilgrave tested his enhanced powers and are confronted by him there. He reveals that he has been controlling Cage the whole time, having made him forgive Jones to earn her trust, and now unleashes Cage on Jones, escaping while they fight. Police soon arrive and are overpowered by Cage, but Jones manages to shoot him in the head with one of their shotguns at point-blank range. This, however, does not kill him, because this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you only die by doors or helicopters, or propellers.
And apparently getting stabbed with a pair of old scissors.
Well, yeah, that too.
This season has... These last two have had quite a bit of, killing.
This is one of the darkest shows I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's probably why it's one of the better ones, to be honest.
This is definitely the darkest MCU ever got. Alright, let's just take a bloody number. When Jessica and Luke are talking on the balcony, staking out Zalk Labs, the skyline of New York behind them features Avengers Tower. Maybe try singing the Avengers theme song, you idiot.
Yeah. I gave it a go, and I couldn't remember anything after, the first two notes.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, that was it.
Dude, we're gonna have to have a music lesson.
Oh no.
Episode 13, the final episode of season 1 of Jessica Jones, titled AKA Smile.
Smile.
With Cage unconscious and requiring medical attention, nurse Claire Temple, who has previous experience treating gifted individuals, agrees to look after him while Jones tracks down Kilgrave, who is unsatisfied with Thompson's efforts to increase his abilities so far. Thompson has been using the fetal remains that Hogarth kept and believes that a full dose of his extracted drug could now make Kilgrave powerful enough to control Jones. Using Cage's phone, Jones tracks Kilgrave to the apartment of a wealthy couple whom he has enslaved. In time to see Thompson die, Cage awakens and decides to leave. Jones confronts Kilgrave at the couple's yacht, where he takes Walker hostage. When Jones allows this, Kilgrave believes that he finally has control over her again. However, when he tells her to say "I love you," Jones says it to Walker instead and snaps Kilgrave's neck. Jones is arrested for the murder, but Hogarth secures her release, leaving her to get calls from people around the city who have heard of her heroics and seek her assistance.
Now, where did the nurse that took care of Luke Cage, where did she previously appear?
Well, actually, she first appeared in Daredevil, calling him Mike instead of Matt because she didn't know his name, and they did a little fondue a little bit. And then now she has appeared in Jessica Jones. Yeah, they did the horizontal bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she may appear a lot more times. You know, she may be the connective tissue in the Netflix universe.
Oh, that's crazy.
She might be Netflix's Coulson. Yeah, that's the end. I have one more fun fact, actually. During the skirmish at the Hudson Ferry Terminal, Kilgrave's amplified powers turned the veins in his face purple as he yelled for everyone to stop. This is a nod to his appearance in the comics where he has a purple face and goes by the name Purple Man.
Purple Man. See, that was different. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a
purple
different
face that time.
Yeah. So what did you think of Jessica Jones? It sounds like it was your favorite.
Probably out
of the two shows.
Out of the two shows, I'm not really counting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. blows both these shows out of the water. But
wow, you're one of the few people that would say that, I think.
Well, just based off the first and second seasons I've watched.
Okay.
I mean, it definitely better than the other one there.
Daredevil?
Yeah, definitely better than Daredevil.
Well, you'll be happy to know that there's 2 more whole seasons of this show, and how could they possibly be bad, right?
Definitely not great.
And after next week's episode, you get to watch Iron Fist.
Oh boy!
But before we do this, or not Iron Fist, Luke Cage.
Iron Fist probably.
Before I get to your homework, I want to tell you how fucking lucky you are, you son of a bitch.
Tell me why I'm lucky. I could use.
Disney Plus has decided to make this show 2 episodes shorter by getting rid of 2 shows that technically exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They have now fully removed them from the internet, and there is nowhere you can stream them. Those shows being so good that they removed them are Inhumans and The Runaways.
I've heard bad things.
But they're so good. Have I only seen 3 episodes of Inhumans because I watched it in a movie theater where they showed all 3 episodes, and then I never chose to watch any of the other episodes? Probably. So I won't be able to even teach you about it.
Why did they get removed? Were they just that bad?
I'm pretty sure Disney's just like, hey, forget about this.
Oh, it was one. Let's pretend it never happened.
Hey, you see this? This never happened. But for next week, I want your homework to be prepared for ranking everything we've watched so far in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Ooh.
And that's going to be next week's episode. Hopefully a nice little 20-minute episode that'll take me 1 hour to edit.
Yeah, I gotta get me a list here. Write it down. Send me a list.
Okay, just Google MCU Phase 1, Phase 2. I'll send you a list. That's it for this week's episode of Marvel Cinematic University. I hope you learned a lot about Jessica Jones. If you want to learn more about other shows, other movies, everything like that, make sure you subscribe, follow us wherever you're watching this. Do the thing that tells you that gives you notifications that we've gone live. Also give us like a 5-star rating because I think we've deserved it. We've really earned it. Only positive reviews, please. We only deserve the best. Definitely follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Wait, Facebook? We don't have a Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, AJ Slabs, Juicy Snake 12, and MC University Pod 101. And episodes every Thursday at 3.
Yeah, leave a comment just telling Alex here to get better at speaking. I think that would be funny.